over the years, I haven't always been the most attentive to details. Thankfully, I've always had a sister figure in my life who's always been there to watch over the details for me. I can distinctly remember walking into church and my big sister coming in saying, "Did you send out the retreat forms yet? Did you follow up with that person? Don't forget you have a meeting next Wednesday." Even this past year when I was in Reading, I had another sister figure who almost did the exact same thing. "Did you sign up for this? Don't forget it's that person's birthday. Make sure and have Thursday night open." And God in His great mercy has always given me someone who knew exactly how to serve me best. It's amazing how many times I need something and without even asking, that very thing is brought to me. Sometimes I go into a meeting where there's sort of this expectation that I'm gonna bring something to the table that's gonna help them with their situation. Maybe it's a word of advice or some encouragement. Can't tell you how many times God has given me the right words to say or just the right perspective to see things for what they are. I wish I could attribute this to this noble discipline I have in my spiritual life, but if I'm being really honest, I just can't. I'm learning to grow my constant awareness of God's presence in my life. But in the meantime, God hasn't been shy to help me out. See, I've given my life to God to be in relationship with Him, to live a life of service. Sometimes it's really hard for me to distinguish who's actually serving who. I don't know if you guys have ever seen in shows where a doctor's operating on someone and they're calling for different tools. Scalpel, that sort of thing. So many times I can liken what I feel to a situation similar to that. And when I walked away from these experiences, I began to question myself, is this even right? In fact, I don't think this is right, but this is exactly how I feel. It feels like God is my servant. And I almost began to panic. Oh no, what weird teaching have I got myself into? As I was contemplating all of these different things, the story of Jesus washing the disciples' feet came to mind, and His words began to resonate with me. "Unless I wash your feet, you have no part in me." I feel so loved and served by God, and I know that it's ultimately His mission that I'm serving. But I have to say, sometimes the lines feel a little bit blurred. I'm not saying that they are. Like, I know that we are God's servants first and foremost. He's the head and I always seek to submit to Him. And yet God is the one who's carved out space in our walk with Him for Him to serve us. So right before this passage comes to be, in John 13, Jesus is coming down to the end of His life on earth. And it says that Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under His power. And so with full confidence, knowing that He has everything, that He's the full ruler of everything, the first thing He does is choose to wash His disciples' feet. So my thinking began to turn around from how is it that God can serve me to, okay, this is good, this is actually normal, in fact it's actually necessary. And now I begin to watch for those moments in my life where I feel like God is actually serving me. And rather than create anxiety, they actually produce relief inside of me. I say, thank God, this is so amazing that God the Creator would serve small me, even in the smallest of matters. See, God's not a proud God, He's a humble God. He's not a proud God, He's a humble God. And even if it's serving us in the small matters, like giving us a word of encouragement or as radical as washing our feet, He's actively doing so in our lives. So please, please, please don't get weird about this. God is God and we are not. But take a step back and ask yourself, where do I see God serving me in my life? Because apparently in His words, if He isn't serving you, you have no part in Him. How is God serving you? Okay, but I actually do want to hear how God is serving you. Leave a short story in the comments so we can all read and see. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thanks again.